care if somebody's a teacher, an authority figure, whatever. They don't get to tell me who I am or what I am. I know who I am. I'd say the two most defining that come to mind instantly are like in high school, like both of you know that I have narcolepsy and that it was a struggle and a half. Faculty trying to tell me graduate so they could get rid of me so I wouldn't be a problem. I had people telling me, why can't you just wake up and get to school? And people telling me, everyone's tired, just get over it. And I was like, oh, I know that everyone's tired, which is also a problem in our society, but like, mine is a different case. And I had a band director who constantly tore me down and constantly made me feel like things that were actually a part of my disorder were a part of who I am, a part of my worth. Something in high school, we needed recommendations, and he was the teacher that knew me the longest, because at that point he had known me for 2.5 or 3 years. And so I went to him, and he wrote the letter, and I read it before it got turned in, but he basically wrote that I was irresponsible, that I was not capable of having any sort of leadership role or taking any responsibility, and that I was lazy. And I shouldn't be trusted with responsibility because I would let people down. And the reason he felt that way is because he would always ask me like, okay, are you gonna come to this, or am I gonna see here? And I was like, yes, to the best of my ability. I can't tell you when my medical condition will cause problems. I can't predict the future. I can do everything in my power to take my medications and to keep doing my best to show up in life. I cannot promise you, though, that it won't be a problem. So I would try to just be honest with him, and because I didn't want my head bitten off later, and it was not good enough for him. I had to promise him that I would do that. And then if I didn't, or I couldn't, he still thought it was within my control. And I even went to his office and spoke to him about how inappropriate it was the way he was treating me. But I left his office crying. He didn't want to listen. He didn't care. Him, along with other teachers and faculty, just caused me to feel so bad about who I was and that my life was taken over by having narcolepsy, that I couldn't be successful. I couldn't handle anything in life. I couldn't be the person I wanted to be. I thought my future was gone. And I've long since moved on from feeling like I can't have a future, or that I'm incapable, but I still have a lot of trouble communicating with teachers about my health conditions, and with feeling like they aren't going to hate me or judge me. And it's led to a lot of anxiety problems that makes me avoid proper communication, because in the past it bit me in the butt to be open and honest and advocate for my own needs. So it's still something that occasionally I encounter a problem with, or have to work on it. Kind of like when people say that you shouldn't say the such and such person, you should say the person with this. I would count myself as the narcoleptic girl, not the girl who has narcolepsy. And it just overtook who I was for a while. But it really also forced me to begin my journey of standing up for myself and advocating for myself, and to fight for my place, and to understand who I am. And also taught me a lot earlier. I don't care if somebody's a teacher, an authority figure, whatever. They don't get to tell me who I am or what I am. I know who I am, and nobody's going to take it from me. They are welcome to their opinion of me, but that's all it is their opinion of me. And then the other is that basically freshman year, after being sexually assaulted by the RA in my building, then going through the Title IX trial, and that being super traumatic, and eventually withdrawing. And I started going to the group therapy and individual therapy to deal with it, because I knew that it was more than that sexual assault. I knew it was also past assaults and traumas and everything just coming to a head that I needed to deal with. So I remember my one-on-one therapist asked me, who am I? And at the time, my first reaction to it was what do you mean, who am I? Like, I mean, like, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt, like, blah, blah, blah. And I started listing all of these things, and like, I was like, and I remember ranting to my mom later, and I just go, she just wanted me to answer who am I? I'm like, I just got really upset and like frustrated at the question. I was like, it's such an obvious thing. Why do I need to answer who I am? And I was just getting unnecessarily upset at the question. And my mom, and I listed to my mom like all the stuff I told the therapist about like who I was. And mom's like, well, honestly, I don't think you know who you are. And that broke me. That like made my heart stop, because like I look up to my mom like no other person, and she is such a role model to me. And I've also like always been told that I had like some sort of like self-awareness and maturity for my age, and then the time my mom told me like, I don't think you know who you are, I value her opinion and her honesty a lot, and it made me actually pause. But she's like, I don't think you know who you are. Every word you just described to me was who you are to other people. And I didn't realize that. She's like, who are you besides those things? And I was like, well, like, how do I describe myself without relation to other people? That's super important. She's like, I didn't say that it wasn't important, but it's not all you are. And what I didn't realize, and like, even like with talking through all the identity stuff with you lately and like texting and stuff, it made me reflect a lot more. And even looking back now, like I was able to kind of understand that moment in my life a lot more. But my mom saying that made me sit down and think, and made me realize that I didn't know who I was. And not to say that I never knew who I was up until that point, but that's to say that in that moment, I didn't know who I was because I was confused, because all of the assaults that had happened had taken my control and taken my power from me and had hurt me in a way in which I was hurting, like blaming myself, and like I wasn't healing. And it really like broke me in a way where it felt like the attributes that I held so dear to myself were robbed of me. That I've always been like somebody that I felt was like confident and strong and stood up to things, and have somebody like take my voice away from me, to not listen to my voice and respect my boundaries, to have all these things happen, like tore away at who I identified as. And it took me time to not blame myself for that. And so it made me realize that because those things had happened, that's why I didn't know who I was, because my mind was confused and the two things clashed. There's who I thought I was and who I thought these events told me I was. And I didn't realize that those events, they weren't telling me like that I was somebody else than I thought. They weren't robbing me of those attributes. But I didn't know at the time. And I'm glad I went to therapy. It helped me reclaim the person I am, the person I know myself to be, and to not define myself based on those things, to not define myself on other people's actions and choices, and to not blame myself for somebody else's actions and choices. But I'm glad that my mom was willing to like be so honest with me in such a fragile moment and call me out, because it's what I needed to really jolt me into taking my healing journey seriously and diving deeper into it, and sitting down with my negative emotions and feelings and hurt in order to climb back out even stronger, and in order to know how to then help others do the same, hopefully.
Thank you. Thank you for watching Zengeist SoulScholars. If you haven't already, please view our intro video to learn more about the intention of our channel. Also, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss more interviews and debriefs to come. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook to see our weekly self-reflective questions and the topics of new interviews to come. If you would like to become a Soul Scholar and partake in an interview, email us at zengeistofficial@gmail.com.